Today we're going to talk about the Great Deceleration, the lawsuit against Coldwell Banker for cold calling a bunch of people, robocalling, and the town is lowering property taxes. This week with Allison Luce, Market Mondays. It's a beautiful Monday. Allison, thanks for coming in and joining me today on Market Monday.
Thanks for having me, appreciate it.
I want to get right into this article in Fortune magazine with you about the Great Deceleration.
Okay, sounds good. Let's talk about it.
The headline is, how fast your local housing market is cooling amid the Great Deceleration. So they're saying that the markets are cooling dramatically, like the Great Deceleration. It's not just slowing, it's like coming to a halt, right? The driving force is the Federal Reserve. Duh, right? Like we all know that. I mean, the Federal Reserve has taken action, right? Like they're not just standing by. They have a plan to slow things down.
Correct.
Right? Mm-hmm. And so they're putting the brakes on these things and everybody's acting surprised. What do you think about that?
Well, they've not been looking at our inventory numbers here, and they've not been watching our local market, obviously, because we still have, it's not showing the same information that's in the article.
Yeah, 100%. So they're saying the biggest indication that all this is true is inventory, right? Is inventory is decreasing. But if we look at our numbers, right? This week we brought 43 new properties on the market on Hilton Head Island. This same week last year, which we already had super low inventory, multiple offers, all these things, last year we brought 104, a 59% decrease in new inventory coming on the market. That's like the opposite of what they're talking about.
Right.
What's your take on that?
Obviously, we're still in a seller's market. We're still in a low inventory situation. And so I think that what this big Great Deceleration that they're talking about might be happening in other parts of the country, but it's not what's here.
Yeah.
Going on in Hilton Head.
Yeah. So you're saying that if it's raining in Chicago today, it may not be raining here?
Correct. We all know that anyways. We know Hilton Head has the better weather, right? So.
Fortune, if you want to know about Hilton Head Island, call us. It's way different here. Next article I want to talk to you about was this article that was in Inman about Coldwell Banker being sued for cold calling people. What's your takeaways?
Well, obviously no one likes to get robocalls about listing their house, and so there's that point. And then it also had some their major point was that by bringing more inventory to the market, it was going to lower the prices. Is that what it was saying?
Yeah, it's crazy. So they say the plaintiffs allege that Realogy's motivation in allowing its affiliated agents to violate the Telephone Communication Protection Act is to grow its market share of listings. Yeah, like of course, right? At least in part to use its market power to raise the prices on homes it has for sale, since fewer competing listings can undercut the real estate brokerage with lower price homes. What? I mean, they're saying, like, this is insane. They're saying that the more listings they have, the higher prices will go up. Well, I mean, if their argument is that they're trying to control the market and falsely increase values, okay, but that doesn't seem real in such a competitive market. What I know is the less inventory you have, the higher the prices. Their suit is saying that the more inventory you have, the higher the prices. Like that's not the way the market works, as far as I know it.
Correct.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it goes on to talk about their portfolio of all the brands, and they want this large share in all these regions, and it creates a tremendous incentive to obtain more and more listings to be able to keep real estate prices high.
Well, that makes no sense because we all know how it works. The more listings, the lower the prices, and so to me, this isn't making any sense.
Yeah, it's kind of the whole thing is kind of crazy, right? These litigants, their name is I'm probably not going to pronounce it right. Bumpus, B-U-M-P-U-S. I wish they would go after those stupid people that keep calling me about my auto insurance warrant or my auto warranty. Like that's the calls that I get all the time that I'm sick of. Especially on my cell phone. You get those?
Yes.
How many people have called you to list your house lately?
None, actually. I guess I could call myself. So what are we gonna do, right? I don't get any listing calls, so.
Let's focus on the real problems here, people. Did you read the article in the Iowa Packet about property taxes going down? Budget going up, property taxes going down?
Yes.
Tell the folks what's happening.
Well, after Hurricane Matthew, the town instituted a higher millage rate in order to create a disaster relief fund. And that fund has now, is it $33 million?
Yeah, I think the intention was to get at least 30 million. They're up to 33.
And so now they're bringing the millage rate back down in order to lower taxes since their goal was reached. And then, so this sounds like fantastic news. And so if you look at the overarching theme, it's good. But if you know what's rolling out with the assessment that's taking place this year, you're not going to be too excited.
This is a reassessment year, right?
Correct.
Yeah, so reassessment year means that for this year, taxes are paid in arrears. So 2022 taxes will be paid in 2023. Reassessment year, they're gonna put new values on everybody's property. The good news is that's capped at a 15% increase, so I think everybody can expect the assessed value of their property to go up 15%. That's gonna affect everybody's taxes.
Right.
Every time there's a reassessment, we deploy our website. It's called bctaxappeal.com, and as a service, you can go on to BC Tax Appeal and you can request from us to do a valuation on your property that you can use if you think your assessment is incorrect. Just know that's coming. We'll be ramping up our website, ready to help the community as we always do. Speaking of helping the community, did you see on the town's website their new wheelchair program for the beaches?
Yes.
How awesome is that?
That's fantastic.
Tell people what they need to do to use this fantastic program.
I think you can register online and then they'll send you a code. And so if someone needs help with mobility, they can reserve a wheelchair and then they can pick it up either on the Islander Beach on the north end or Coligny on the south end and can use a wheelchair to get out there. So it's very helpful.
And the town's going to try it this year, and if it works well, they're going to continue on. Great job, town. Love seeing stuff like this. And we'll put the website link in the description, so if you need to reserve a wheelchair, you'll just go click the link and do so. Will you stick around for a couple mailbag questions?
Of course.
Okay. First question from JK. Great video and discussion regarding POA. That was last week with Ken. Do you think communities like Moss Creek, where sellers pay the POA, the listing price of the house reflects the cost associated with the POA? Just a clarification. We're not talking about the POA fee. We're talking about an initiation fee in Moss Creek. They call it the membership certificate, $23,000. Do I think that that's built into the price? Yes, I think it's built into the price. There's a big benefit in building it into the price. That's that most banks will just roll it into the financing so that, if there's a 80% loan to value, they're not pulling the 23 out and then the buyer has to bring an additional $23,000 to the table. So that's been the benefit of it. Whether or not it's a good marketing strategy, I don't know. Moss Creek seems to be the only community that does it that way. I happen to be a resident for a long time of Moss Creek, and I can tell you in some private Facebook groups, there's some discussions going on about whether or not the owners want to kind of try and change that and have the buyers pay that. And then we had a couple of really kind of cool and fun comments from, I'm gonna butcher his name, Toron. And his comments about our discussion about Bluffton growing is, I think it's gonna be the biggest, I'm paraphrasing, it's gonna be the biggest city in the world with more people, maybe even about the size of Chicago. It's growing. I don't think we're gonna get to Chicago, but keep the comments coming. They're fun to read. Thank you so much for stopping in today.
You are welcome. Thanks for having me.
Any fun? I talk too much, don't I?
Lots of fun.
Yeah, I talk too much, don't I?
No.
Yeah. Thanks for coming in. Join us next week. Leave any comments in the comments section. I think they put a link to the mailbag. Throw them in there. We love to get your comments on our videos. And again, we'll see you next week. Take care.